This tutorial will guide you through creating a works cited or reference list using the MLA style guide. There are 9 core elements that make up an MLA citation. You might not need to use them all, depending on the type of resource. If one of your resources does not have one of the elements, simply move on to the next element. The first key element is author or authors. You start with the author's last name, followed by a comma, then their first name, followed by a period. If there are 2 authors, list the last name of the first author, comma, first name, comma, the word and then the second author's name, first name first, last name last, followed by a period. If a resource has 3 or more authors, you list the first author by the last name, comma, first name, comma, and then et al., ending with a period. Elements 2 and 3 can be separate or go together. They are title of source and title of container. The title of the source would be, for example, the title of a book. The title should be listed exactly as they are found in the source, with standardized capitalization and punctuation. A title may be italicized or placed in quotation marks depending on what type of source material it is. For example, a book title would be italicized, since it is the title of the source and the title of the container. For example, Kiss of the Spider-Woman, and it should end with a period. However, if the source is an article from a magazine or journal, the title of the article would go in quotation marks, such as Questions of Transport, reading Primo Levi, reading Dante, period, end quotation mark. While the title of the journal or magazine, such as National Geographic, which would be considered the title of the container, would be in italics and end with a comma. Element number 4 is other contributors and may not always apply. Some examples of other contributors include editors, translators, and illustrators. You would list them by the description of the role and then their name. For example, translated by Lydia G. Cochran, and end with a comma. Element number 5 is version or edition. It may be noted in different ways. This includes revised, expanded, updated, or numbered edition. If it is an edition, you would list it by what type, followed by the abbreviation for edition, which is ED. So, if it is an updated edition, it would be listed as updated ED period and then a comma. If it is a version, you would list it by what type of version and then version followed by a comma. For example, unabridged version, comma. Element number 6 is number. This can include both volume and issue. Both volume and issue should be abbreviated. Volume by VOL period, then the volume number, then comma. If it has both volume and number, list it as VOL period 128, comma, NO period 1, comma. If it simply has a number, list it as NO period 98, comma. Element number 7 is publisher. and this is the person or organization responsible for producing the source and making it available to the public. It should be listed as it is printed in the source and end with a comma. For example, Penguin Press, comma. You do not need to list a publisher for sources such as a periodical, journal, magazine, or newspaper, a work published by its author or editor, a website whose title is essentially the same as the name of its publisher, or a website not involved in producing the work it makes available, i.e., YouTube or WordPress. Element 8 is publication date. The date should be listed as completely as possible, starting with the day, then the month abbreviated with a period, and then the year, ending with a comma. If no day is listed, start with the month, then the year, and a comma. For example, if it is an edition that lists January, February, you would put JAN period dash FEB period 2015, comma. Element 9 is location. This can mean different things. If this is an article or a book, location would mean the page number or numbers that you consulted. If it is simply one page number, it would be listed as a single P, period, then the page number, period. If it is a range of page numbers, it would be listed as PP, period, 193 through 200, period. If the source is from an online resource and does not have page numbers, you would then list the URL web address or DOI in this spot. For example, the web address for www.theatlantic.com and then the magazine article. These are the 9 core elements that make up the MLA Citation Style Guide. Make sure you look for each one of these when citing your sources. If your source does not have one of these elements, simply move on to the next element. Please feel free to contact the library or tutoring center for any additional help in citing your work. All information came from the MLA Handbook 8th edition.